Alright, this video is about the coupler for the outdrive that mounts on the back of the engine flywheel. In this case it's a Volvo Penta. The Mercruisers have a device, some kind of steel device that mounts on the flywheel on these perimeter holes, but this Volvo Penta mount the same studs that mount the flywheel, also mount the coupler. What I want to point out was, before you put this coupler on, I'm just going to get this trowel out. I'm going to set the phone down. Hold on. Sorry about that. Okay, before you put this coupler on, check the thread, not the split threads, the splines. In this particular case, the splines on this were a little bit boogered up. So this is your alignment tool right here. And the end of this is supposed to be about 1 inch. But when I tried to get it to go, it wouldn't go at first. But I knew it was supposed to. So what I did was I kind of twisted it until it finally dropped in. And if I hadn't done this and put it in the boat, I never would have got this in there, and I wouldn't realize why. So I would have thought it was just out of alignment. So before you put your coupler back on your boat, you need to make sure your alignment tool slips in and out of your coupler very easily, as I'm doing right here with one hand. So as you can see, now it slips in pretty easy. But it didn't at first, so you need to make sure of that first of all. So that's the one point I want to make. So the next point is for helping align your motor. Get you a 1 inch long. This is it's a 3 foot long 1 inch dowel, and it also fits in the coupler, and it fits pretty snug. The purpose of that is so when you have it in the engine, in the back of the engine, and you're trying to line this thing up, you can stick this 1 inch rod in there, and you can see if it's not concentric with the bellows hole, you know that you're off. So you can raise or lower the engine until this wooden rod is concentric. Then you know you can try your steel alignment tool. This helps you get it lined up a lot faster. Some people use grease on the. Some people put grease on the alignment tool tip, and how the grease rubs tells you whether it's too high or low. But this gives you a real-time high or low continuously as you watch it, as you raise the engine up and down. So you can go right to it pretty close with this wooden dowel. I don't know where I learned this, but I did this before on the last boat I rebuilt. So I bought this wooden dowel at Lowe's. It's 1 inch in diameter, and it fits dang near perfect inside this coupler. When you buy the wooden dowel, roll it on the floor to make sure it's perfectly straight. If it wobbles on the floor up and down, well, you want to make sure the floor is level first, which I assumed it was. But if the wooden dowel wobbles up and down, you know you've got a bent wooden dowel, so you need to swap it for another one until you find a straight one. So that's all I want to say about the coupler. I do want to say one more thing. The studs in the back of this crankshaft were bare to get out of it. This is not the original crankshaft. I pulled these studs out of the old crankshaft, which I didn't throw it away, but it's got to be turned. So this particular crankshaft didn't have studs. It was for an automotive application, so I had to put these studs in there, and these studs were a pain to get out. I had to back 2 nuts up against each other and back them out, and so the threads on this one were a little bit damaged, but I tried to order new studs and I had them back ordered, so I couldn't get one. So I'm just got the nut still holds, so I'm just got to run with that one. You'll have one stud that's not quite as strong as the rest of them, but these are grade 8 bolts. So I think the other 5 will do fine, and then this one will help hold it too. But I tried to buy a new one and couldn't, so or with at least not without delays. So just want to make that point. I put the studs in with blue Loctite, ran them all the way down, put a nut on here, ran them down, then held that part with the power pliers and backed the nut off with my power drill. And so all the studs are in now. So what I'm about to do is mount this flywheel on here and the coupler. You mount them both at the same time and screw them down. I'm also going to put Loctite on the nuts too as I tighten it down. So I want to show this. Before I put the coupler on. Thanks for watching.